Want to welcome everyone to Global Markets Radio Week Ahead. I'm your host, Andrew Spanton. Sunday, 5:15 p.m. Eastern, January 29th, 2012. Happy Sunday, everyone. A little late. Sorry about that. But we're getting the euro pretty much gapping up but selling off now. Talks of Greece agreeing to a haircut of 50%, but more the creditor is willing to take a higher yield. I think it's like 3.6% they're talking about. So I think if there are any deals done, the euro, the S&P, everything probably could rally. Now, obviously, the shooting star bothers me. Very much so. Because, we see here, shooting star came in. Next week, boom, and then down. Now, again, while I think we're coming close to a top, I'm just looking for more of something like the outside candle here. Then we got something. This, I'm not so sure. I think it's more shooting star, bearish engulfing, and we boom, right back up. News has been good. We're broken out. Does it mean the S&P can't come in and test 1390 and be down, maybe even come back? Sure. We got a big week ahead. We got lots of data coming out. I'm curious to see what these numbers out tomorrow, the U.S. are. Personal income, personal spending. But we get we get consumer confidence this week out of the U.S. We get obviously non-farm payroll out of the U.S. ADP, weekly jobs claims. Chicago PMI big. See if that manufacturing numbers continue to be better in the U.S. See if they continue to do well. China PMI. We already got a glimpse from HSBC, but this number's more China. They can move it. Canadian GDP this week. Good Australian numbers as well. So we still get nice numbers coming out. German unemployment on Tuesday. Retail sales out of Germany. We get Bernanke testifying, justifying another freaking year of low rates. Free money for the banks. New Zealand unemployment. Ballard, central bank head out of New Zealand, he's going to be gone September 25th. He is not resuming. That could be a negative. You could see Aussie Kiwi bounce on that. And again, as you know, I'm a bear. I'm a big bear. But you can't fight the tape. And when you get Bernanke printing more money like he is, and you get a broken out situation like we are here, and listen, we took out the fib. And, this is my trading plan. This is my Bible. You can't be short this. It's against the rules. You're breaking the freaking rules. Now, can I be short at a level, like say a double top? Yeah, if I've been riding long and making money here and I can afford to be wrong, sure. Or on the sidelines waiting for the spot. Or waiting for an explosion. Because this is not a head and shoulders, people. This is not a head and shoulders. This is a rising head and shoulders. This should be the neckline. Oops. But as I've said, mid-February, I think this rally could continue to mid-February. There's nothing to stop it. No really bad news. More people die in Syria. The world doesn't care. Things going status quo. Now, things are pushing off till May. The Iranian situation. You ready? Start hearing the stories. It's unbelievable how they continue to somehow kick this can down the road. I guess you got to give it to Obama. Meanwhile, Iran continues to develop the nuclear weapon. So we keep pushing things forward, and they keep continuing to work on it. It really, it's almost like they want it to happen. We have no one to blame. Let me tell you, if they get it and they use it, blood's on Obama's hands. So look at this S&P again. Shooting star, bearish engulfing. So it doesn't mean we're going to. So again, we got to break through certain levels in order to really get on the short side. So we take our previous week low. That would be a bearish indicator. But you would think all the numbers should be good this week. European numbers might not be so good. Germany might start slowing down. But the U.S., with jobless claims, doing great. 355 we got this month. Numbers only at 150 something. So it's baked in the cake to be a good number. That should help the market. Because again, Bernanke's not going to change his outlook on one good number. Unemployment has to come down to 6%. So again, looking at this S&P, while I'm definitely bearish on the long term, the short term, again, unless we take out this, that should be support now, and the 10 exponential. Unless we close below here, and just even go bearish engulfing at 1306.07, okay, but that's 10 handles. And I don't know. The Greece news should be good. And again, we take a look at gold. More printing, more money. Gold, I was bearish on it. But now, again, taking it out, bullish. Got to be bullish. Take your licks. But again, it was more against 1675 if you listen to my program. And again, once we took out 17, and once the printing of the money came, good night. Very easy to change your bias. Now we should go to the moon. CFTC weekly highs in Futures Commission trade report on option contracts on metals. Metals breaking out. It's all set up, technicals and macro. So this should mean dollar down. And again, commodity currencies, we see the Aussie. Hey, I'm a bear, but not now. This thing could fly like the wind. Another one, just like the S&P. Again, don't tell me this doesn't track the S&P. Abso-freaking-lutely. So these are all weekly charts, people. Remember, all weekly charts. You look at the 10, 20, and 30 exponential moving averages. And you see, when they cross, the trend is just starting to turn. And if they cross nicely, and you get space to the moon. So, just like this thing, 115 would mean what? 1450 on the S&P. Same chart. This happens to look better than the S&P. Although I'll tell you, the head and shoulders looks a little better on this one too, huh? Neckline, a little better. Left shoulder, but right shoulder, nope. But again, this thing in a nice uptrend channel. Got to be long. Got to be long this thing. I don't see how you can be short. All the things are against you. Yes, they cut rates, but the U.S. is going to keep rates well low for a long time, and the Australian economy is doing fine. Thank you. Now, again, this is based on the reason, again, I'm bullish on the Australian economy. I'm just not bearish on the freaking currency because the currency is only up because of the United States. Carry trade, hedge funds. So we look at the euro. A lot different, doesn't it? Don't tell me that tracks the S&P. Give me a freaking break. Certainly due for more of a bounce. I believe Goldman Sachs has a 139 target. Could it be a sell in the news event with Greece? If it explodes, absolutely. I see their target. Their target's right here. Over the weeks. Bada boom. Most of the time when it bounces, it does rip through the EMAs. So, and it's only in the bottom. So I think we could easily get up to 136. Easy. And again, we should not break these highs. These should be support right around here, 131. Should we ever take out 128.50, say goodnight. 128.75. Good night. But I think the stage is set. Unless we go bearish engulfing, unless we're down through 1300, 1305, I think you got to buy the pullback. This Euro Swiss seems to be holding 120, but I tell you, it looks like it wants to test. They're going to test it. Euro yen, just like the euro, just like the euro. And if the euro continues to bounce, I don't see why this cannot. But again, dollar yen looks terrible. Dollar yen, could this bounce to 106 with dollar yen going nowhere? Absolutely. But interest rate differentials came in, dollar yen straight down. They getting paid nothing for another year. Bond yields, again, collapsing. 5-year at 0.77%. Don't tell me we're not Japan. We're going to have a lost decade, people. A lost decade in the U.S. Absolutely. It's already started. We're already 4 years in. So look at this dollar yen. I got to tell you, I think it's going lower. Under 76.50, it's toast. They're going to retest. And again, this is all about interest rate differentials. I mean, really, if you think about it, who's going to come out first now? Japan's been already through 15 years. They're starting in the 90s. I'd rather bet on Japan myself, but too much currency exposure with the yen so strong. At these levels, dollar Canada, I got to tell you, this thing is toast. The more I think about this, the more this thing, and technicals, we've only drifted lower, 200 pips, really, in the last 3 weeks. Gold is breaking out. This is a monster wedge. Look at this wedge. Oh, baby. You get a good GDP report this week, people. You get a stock market that hangs tough. You get gold continuing to break out. Dollar Canada is so due for a monster move. As much of a bull, believe me, I think dollar Canada this year could have an insane bounce. I think, again, risk comes back on. You're talking about 115. But who's to say we cannot first come down and retest 95? And then, of course, as time goes on, this number comes back up. But I think this is too good news out there. And anytime you go against Bernanke so far, you've been burnt. The guy just did a monster more accommodation. He gave you another year of free money. Insane. And now the charts are broken out. So I think you have no choice but to BOP. Buy on pullback. Dollar Swiss, love it short. I think there's more to it. Abso-freaking-lutely, I think Dollar Swiss should be back down here. Gorgeous trade. Let Euro Swiss continue to grind lower. Euro Sterling, that even looks good. I think we easily come back up to about 85. But I think this dollar Canada could be a monster trade. Monster trade. And back to Euro Canada, sorry. I know I'm jumping around. Looks like it's going to bounce a little more. But I'll tell you what, I'm telling you, who do you want to be with long term? Commodity prices going back up. But again, we get up here 145, 135, 137. Is in a complete downtrend. And you look at the long term, look where it was. It was 125 over a year ago. So I could easily see something in that zone. It should be. Sterling? Tell you what, really breaking out. Big downtrend channel line. On a weekly basis, you could be talking about cable back up to 163. Again, Bernanke gave the signal. Now, London, I'm a little nervous. The GDP was a little bit weaker. And they're going to be adding more stimulus. But we could easily be seeing a bounce up to 161. And I'll tell you, these commodity, like pound Aussie, euro Aussie, I think they got more to go. These things, this bounce, but if the dollar metals continue to, collapse and explode, this thing's got more to go. Once the euro really, that's more the one. Like the euro on the Greece news, I could see euro exploding, and that's where you get involved. Maybe not the euro dollar per se, but more the euro and more the Aussie, because these things are busted. It looks okay, but every time it looks okay, just hovering at multi-year lows, ready for a meltdown. So I still like this short. I think you sell any strength. I think the markets, unless something happens that changes this week, I think we rally and then you sell on the news with Greece. And it's probably going to happen Tuesday, Wednesday. Turnaround Tuesday, baby. But, you got to go into hibernation. You can't stand in the way. I'll tell you what. Ooh, this is another one. Let's take a look at this one. I got to tell you. This baby looks like it wants to roll over. Breaking the wedge. Another one. We could be talking down to 150. Be 700 pips. I'm telling you, this Canadian is due for a monster move. You get gold still moving up, and you get Chicago PMI good. You get their GDP good this week. Oh, boy. Going up. Another one. The rebuilding continues. And they got an employment number this week. Big number, New Zealand. Listen, we're taking out a fib. And should we clear this whole 82.75? It's gone. Easy, clean shot up to 84.75. There's more to go. Unbelievable. Risk on, baby. To the moon. And, and then you use whatever profit you make on the long side to try and get bearish. Because obviously there's going to be a reversal. Obviously we're overbought. But let me tell you, we have not exploded yet. You have not had that. I mean, we've had a powerful move, but in reality, 150, 150, 200. Come on. I mean, these things haven't been up 250 in a day. Aussie, Kiwi, easy it could happen. So I want to see that blow off. I want to see that explosion. And then we could be talking. But this euro, way oversold. Tons of people short. 136 easy. You do a fib from here, same thing, 136. G. Channels and fibs. Channels and fibs. Oh, baby. Andrew Spanton with no voice. Global Markets Radio, the only voice. Try my product 1 week, people, who truly loves to make you money. Have a good week. Look for my twits, twitter.com, Voice of Forex, as well as Facebook fan page, Voice of Forex. And share my freaking stuff. Have a good one.